Hi there, in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to set up ConvertBox, one of my favorite new options for doing pop-up, sliders, and embedded forms. So let's dive in. If you're interested in purchasing ConvertBox, you'll notice when you come to ConvertBox website, you have to request an invite. Well, I do have an affiliate code that allows you to get in early and skip all this process if you'd like. Simply type in emailcrush.com/recommends ConvertBox. You'll be brought to this page and you can purchase a lifetime account by clicking the button. Many of my clients do choose the Pro upgrade option so that they can get 50 sites instead of 10 sites and double the number of page views per month. Just depends on what your needs are, but the extra $100 one time seems to be worth it for many people. Once you've ordered the ConvertBox software, you'll receive an email from the company giving you access to your new ConvertBox account. So simply come in here and let's sign in with your account information. That will bring you to your dashboard. First thing that we want to do is get ourselves set up. You can head on over to up here in the top right, or the upper right hand corner, click on My Profile. You can add whoever you want to be as users for your account. Next, click on Account, and you'll see your current plan in here. You can edit your account name. Next, let's come to integrations. This is where you're going to connect your ConvertBox forms and pop-ups and all those things to your email service of choice. In this case, we're going to connect to ConvertKit. To do so, we simply click the Connect button under ConvertKit, and then we're going to give this account a name. Here it asks for your API key and your API secret key. Log into ConvertKit and then come up to your upper right and go to Settings and find Advanced. Here's where you'll find your API key and your API secret. So copy this. There's a little copy button over here. Bring this in and you can paste this into this form. Next, let's go grab that API secret. We can copy it and we can paste that in here as well. Once you've got this set up, hit Connect to ConvertKit or whatever your platform is. And now you can see that you are connected. The My Sites tab, if you have multiple websites, simply add them here and follow the steps. Now it's time to install ConvertBox on your website. To do this, let's go to the upper right hand corner again and go to Installation. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install this on WordPress using their WordPress plugin. However, if you don't use WordPress, they do have other options and you simply follow option number 2, follow the instructions for doing that. In order to install this on our website, we're going to go over to our WordPress admin and we're going to go to Plugins, Add New, come down here and type in ConvertBox. That brings up this plugin here, the Auto Embed WordPress plugin. We'll install that. Once that's installed, we can go ahead and activate. It's going to bring us to this screen where now we need to come back to ConvertBox and get this code. So let's copy this code by hitting Copy to Clipboard. Notice it copied it. Come back to the WordPress admin page and paste this in here. When you see this screen, it means that you are good to go. And you'll notice that we have new ConvertBox. The site has no ConvertBoxes yet. And you have groups. So groups is a great way to organize your different opt-ins for different purposes. If you're not going to have different groups, then sure, just go ahead and make them and make a big old group of them here. But I'm going to show you how this is done. We have one type of group that we're going to call, and we're going to take any form or opt-in that we make related to this lead magnet, related to this quick start guide, related to this email hook, and we're going to put it in here. So when it's time to make a new ConvertBox, click this button and give it a name. We'll call this the What to Expect at First Powwow Pop-Up, and we're going to select that group that we assigned it to. Now we're going to choose what type of ConvertBox do we want to use. You have a variety of options here, as you can see, and they're all worth trying. Let's jump over to embedded. I'm not going to be spending any time in this video on how to set up embedded ConvertBoxes, but just follow the instructions if you want to use one of them here. It's very similar to the overlay/pop-up instructions that we're going to be going over. So let's go back to overlay, and you can see you have a variety of options here. This is an example of a sticky bar. You can see what that looks like as you're scrolling down. Here's an example of a callout modal. You see it comes in down here. You have the option to create different settings of when and where it shows, which side. Does it show on desktop or mobile? For the purposes of this video, we're going to focus our attention on the center modal. You'll be brought to a page that provides a variety of templates. I highly suggest that you spend some time playing around with some of these templates. There are different options when you get into them. You can, of course, build from scratch if you'd like, and this is what that looks like. You basically create from a blank canvas and you bring elements in. I'm going to show you how to set up a ConvertBox pop-up using one of their default templates because they have pretty nice templates and they're very usable. So let's go ahead and select one of these templates here. Let's choose this workshop one. We start with the Customize tab, and this is where we make it look all pretty. We have a desktop version and a mobile version. You'll notice that it will optimize for either. And I'm going to show you a couple things that I do when I'm creating a desktop pop-up versus a mobile pop-up. The desktop pop-up, we can go ahead and add in a different image here, change up our wording. We can turn this from a button that triggers an action to an actual form that gets us a new subscriber. Let's start with the form part. I'm going to click on the button here, and I can actually just get rid of this. I come over here to my left side, click Form, and drag this in. Now when I highlight this, you'll notice that I have a variety of options from sizings and spacing, form shape. We can change up that layout if you want to optimize for space. And you have a few font options here, but you can also select Inherit the Website Font Family, and it'll pull from the CSS from your website. We can change the button color. You can select one of these options here, or you can type in your code. And when we type on this, we can change what the button says. We can also highlight this, make it bold, and again, make it bigger, extra large, large. Now here we're going to change up our title. Again, we have choices as we highlight this. We can change up the line height, font size, the color. We can add in other elements in here too. Let's say that we want to add in a little text right here that says free email bonus. It's always good practice to save as you go. Next, let's change up this image. To do this, notice a couple options here. Show image as full width banner. So if I change that up, it gives you a smaller banner there. And then hide image on mobile devices. I highly recommend this. This will look something like this for you, and it'll be a smaller pop-up on mobile. It'll take up less space. You might also bring in other elements. Let's say you want to make this a little bit bigger, and you want to bring in your logo here. This is a possibility. You could upload your logo, etc. We're not going to do that for the purposes of this discussion. And again, you could hide that logo on mobile devices. All right, so let's get an image to go here by clicking this, and we can either remove that image or we can change it by clicking it. It gives us our image library. We don't have anything in here, so let's go ahead and upload a new image. Now I have a variety of images here that I've selected. I'm just going to pick one to start with. So once I upload the image, I have to click on it and say Use Image. All right, that's kind of big, but certainly you could see how you might size an image to be perfect for your purposes here. Again, we don't have to show this as full width banner. We can throw that in that way and change up the size here. So there's a variety of things that we can do. This is a little big perhaps. Maybe we want to bring this down. You can change the color of the background, but you get the idea. So we've got this set up on desktop. We've got it on mobile. You can add in a lot of other things. Play around with this and see what works well for you and for your opportunities. I kind of like that you can embed a video that will start playing. You can set countdown timers. There's a lot you can do. You can add in your user profile up here if you want, where you can change this up. When we're creating our form, it's very important that we click on Form Settings. And this is how we determine what happens with somebody who fills out this form. So this step is super important. So we can change this to say first name. And we don't want the first name to be required. Let's make it optional. You could show a text field above it that says add your name or whatever you want, but we're not going to do that. And then we're going to hit save. And then this might be email address. Save. And when you save that, you can see that those changes were made here. Let's go back. Now the actions. What do we want to have happen when somebody fills out this form? Well, we want them to close the ConvertBox and stop showing this to the visitor. Okay, but you can see that there's other steps. You could redirect to a thank you URL. You could have a multi-step process, but for super simplicity, we're going to stick with close the ConvertBox. We can add conditional actions. This is a little bit more advanced, but definitely worth playing with. Let's go to our integrations. Now, our default integration for this pop-up, we're going to add the integration here. It's going to go find what do we have available. Well, the integration, it's going to be our ConvertKit in this case. And then we're going to, you have a variety of options here, add an existing tag or a sequence, remove a tag, etc. But we're going to go ahead and add to a form. This is going to pull down a bunch of forms that we've created, and I've created one specifically for this. I like to create specific forms to be able to keep track of how people are signing up and where they came in. Add integration. And now when we go live with this, people filling out this form will be added to the right form in ConvertKit. Now that we've saved that, we're going to go ahead and go on to display. The default settings here are based off of when do you want this to show to somebody and how often should it be shown. So let's say that you want to show it after a user's been on the website for, let's say, 10 seconds. Or perhaps you want to wait till that user has scrolled down 50% of the page. Easily done. So we're going to go back here, go to time on page, and leave it at 10 seconds. One of the options a lot of people are kind of interested in is page abandonment. You know, when they're about to leave, then, you know, it's exit intent is the concept here, so you could show it there. And notice you have options, you can do multiple things, but for now, we're just gonna go with the 10 seconds idea. Frequency, how often do you want this to be shown to each visitor? This setting says that it's gonna show this to each visitor one time per session for a maximum of three times ever. Okay, so you could do that. You could also do it based off of time. Not session, but days or weeks. So I only want to show it to them once a week or for 3 times total. You can also change it so that if they close it, it doesn't show it ever again, or it waits until the next day so that they don't keep getting it. Location, this is very powerful. You have the opportunity to show different pop-ups to different people depending on what they're interested in, depending on where they're landing on your website. Many of the pop-ups and my clients and students will use the all pages. They want a site-wide pop-up. So if that's what you want, leave this setting. Right now, I'm going to show you how we can target specific pages and specific locations on the website. So let's go ahead and click Edit. And here we're going to add some display rules. Add display rule. And you can have this ConvertBox show on specific URLs, on URLs that contain a certain word or start with a certain word. You can have it based off a WordPress category or tag. We're going to do it on a few specific URLs that contain a certain path. Start here. We're going to add another one. We can also add some exclusion rules. We can exclude it from a URL that contains a certain path or words. Now that we've got this set up, it shows us the logic of what pages we want this ConvertBox to show. So let's click targeting. Usually we're going to target all visitors. This target specific visitors, though, allows you to do conditional rules. Some of the conditional rules are based off of number of page views, how many times they've visited the website, if they're on desktop, mobile, if they visited a certain page, has not visited a certain page. One of the things that you might do is you might stack different pop-ups. If they've seen pop-up number 1, then maybe you want to show them a second one. And then, so perhaps this was a second one and you only want them to see it if they saw the other one first, or maybe vice versa. So you can see that there's a variety of different things that you have here. When we're ready, we click Launch. It allows us to rename it if we haven't already. Then you can activate the ConvertBox. Additionally, you can schedule a start and end date for this. This might work well if you're running a pop-up, say, that is supposed to end at New Year's Eve. And so you would simply come in here, click, and set the end date for that, for doing New Year's Eve at. And click Finish. Let's go back to our dashboard. Now when I visit powwows.com, after waiting 10 seconds, presto, here is my new opt-in form. Let's take it one step further. One of the things I love about ConvertBox is its ability to test different iterations of your pop-up against each other. You can try different images, different words, and I'm going to show you how to do that now. So let's click on Edit, and over here we can click the Create A/B Test button. So we have variation A, that is our default that we started with, and we're going to create a new variation. Now you can click this and it will automatically create a duplicate of the previous one. You can also clone it by clicking this button here. So if I delete this, I can click the clone button and it's creating a variation for me. Okay, so now when I click on this, I'm creating a different version that will test against variant A. All right, so when I do this, let's say that I didn't like this image, or I just want to test it without the image. I just get rid of the image altogether. And I make this, I don't know, a little bigger, and I make this super big. Okay, you can see that this might be a different kind of experience. Maybe we even change the background color. As you can see, it's a different looking experience. If we switch back to A, you'll see that it's still there. And C is, the second one is a little different. So as far as notes, you can mention what you were doing here. What was your idea with these? What were you testing? When we go to settings, this will give you a couple of options. Do you want to do a regular split test or a cookie split test? And this will explain those here. A lot of times you're just going to do regular split test. So this will show each one of these equally. When you come back to the dashboard, you'll be able to see that there is an A/B test going on, and it's going to start showing you stats from each. If I click stats, now when you come down here, you'll be able to see what's happening with the different tests. So let's say that A wins. What you can do is you can come click the little dots here, and then you can just delete the variants if you'd like. Or you can go from here and actually edit this variation right away. A highly useful tool, one of the things I love the most about the ConvertBox experience.